You're now tuned in to 1313astrology.com. On this episode, I want to briefly lay out a formula on how to decode a movie, how to decode a Hollywood movie, or any movie for that nature, or even a television series. You could use some of these same rules, or even a commercial. You could use some of these same rules. You see, like the movie industry, and I've said this before, is nothing but like the hieroglyphics of this day. The Egyptians, they taught their deepest teachings in what's called hieroglyphs. They didn't write them down and write full books and give you the book, and you got this thick ass book that's like 500 pages long. Nah, they dropped jewels, and they'll draw a picture that was worth 500 pages. Like they said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So they passed on information in hieroglyphs. And it wasn't until the Greeks came along where they wrote books. See, books came and it was birthed from hieroglyphs, from the pictures. This is where books came from. So they didn't start writing books and setting up schools till after. The Egyptians, really the original Egyptians, were a group of extraterrestrials from the Orion star constellation. And they had access to such a high knowledge and information that they could tell you 1,000 years worth of history in one picture. This is how they spoke and communicated. They had their own language. And this is how they communicated. And even if you study Arabic and some of the more classical languages to this day, a lot of their letters and glyphs look like pictures of things, and they are symbols. Even our alphabet, the American alphabet, the 26 letters, these are symbols painting a picture. So symbology and movies and things of that nature, this is the order of the day. This is how you pass on deep secret information. See, people, they come on and they talk about the Illuminati and the Illuminati controlling the world, and they talk about like how the spiritual movement, the New Age movement, we need to get control of our children and break the control grid and the control system of the Illuminati. But you're never going to really be able to break the control system of the Illuminati until you learn the ancient language. You see, it's an ancient language that they speak. Masons and people of that nature, they somewhat know this knowledge, but it goes even deeper than that. It's just like in sports. Like, it's certain signs and hand signs they throw up in sports, and they mean certain things. Sports, even in and of itself, each game is a secret knowledge playing out, or a secret story playing out. This is telling a story. An event, a current event is playing out every time you see a game. And that just came to my mind because there's some athletes walking by right now about to go play a baseball game. And every time you see a game or World Series or even basic games, they're playing, this is an event. They're playing out an event. So when you think about, like, I tell people all the time, I'm a writer. And I don't do much writing or typing. And they were like, well, where's your books at? These YouTube videos are, this is me writing. I'm writing something right now. So the Egyptians, they knew a different, higher language. And those people in these secret societies, they know a higher, different language that they learned from the ancients. So when you see these movies, this is them passing on a wealth of knowledge to you. And I'm going to give you some basic, it's a lot to talk about. And at some point, I wish I had more time. I would, like take a movie, for example, and give you an example and decode a whole movie for you. But I've decoded certain movies, on different videos. But I need to go more in depth with that type of stuff. But I'm going to give you a formula and a format so you can decode movies at will on your own. And the first thing you want to look at, and these is jewels, man. Like, they might get mad at me for even telling you some of the language. I ain't going to tell you everything. I'm going to tell you enough, though. I'm going to put together a lot of stuff that I said on other videos. So the first thing you want to look at is, on any movie, television show, or whatever, what may have you, is you want to look at the production company. What company produced this? What is this production company about? What is the history? See, and it takes time to decode a movie. And this ain't something you just look at and be like, okay, I just decoded that movie in 10 minutes. Because you're going to have to know the history of Universal. What is the history of Universal Pictures? You see? So you want to look at the production company. You want to look at, if you're looking at a television station, I mean, if you're looking at a TV show, you want to look at, they throwing these frisbees and shit, so let me hurry up. But you want to look at what television show is this on. You want to look at the title of the movie or the television show. What is the title? And when you look at the title, you're going to see hidden meanings within the title, but you got to analyze it. You want to look at the credits. The credits. Who gave credit to this movie? You see, like if, say for instance, if Ben Stiller's in a movie, Will Ferrell's in a movie, or if Kevin Hart's in a movie, he's giving that movie credit. He's giving that title credit. And they choose these particular, in the credits, it's not just the actors. Then you got like the executive producer and all of that. They're giving this particular movie credit. So you want to study the history. Why did the executive producer choose Kevin Hart? Why did they choose Will Ferrell to do, say for instance, Get Hard? That's a movie that's coming out. Why did they choose these particular people? What is this movie really about? There is a hidden message being passed on in the movie. So you can look at the trailers. Which part of the movies are they highlighting in the trailer? All of this is a way that you decode a movie because you try to figure out the inner message. And I'm not going to tell you. Like, I know I use Get Hard for example. There's a hidden message in Get Hard. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. It's pretty deep. But this, I'm just giving you a basis of what to look at and what to look for. So you want to look at what kind of movies did the executive producer produce before? What is his discography, or what is his library like? What type of movies has he put out before, or she put out? What type of movies was Kevin Hart in before this? What type of movies were Will Ferrell in before this? You want to look at the genre. Because normally, I'll give you some clues. Normally, like say for instance, if it's a comedy movie, they're talking about something really serious. You see, usually if it's a drama movie, like if it's a comedy movie, they're talking about something in the future that could happen that's sad. Almost scary even. And if it's like a drama movie, they're talking about something that has probably already happened. They're playing out real events. Most drama movies is playing out real live story. Even when they say, it don't matter if they say based on a true story or not. It's not even about that. And they're choosing these actors. That gives you an example. The actors that they choose is for a reason, because they choose the actors predicated upon the event that they're playing out. You want to look at where the actor's from. What is the actor's original name? What name are they giving the actor in the movie? All of that is strategic because they're telling you a secret through the movie. Each movie's different. Sometimes you won't understand the true hidden meanings. Because I know people, they come on here and they do these documentaries and these videos and they talking about these celebrities are all homosexuals and this has more of a homosexual undertone, certain movies. It's deeper than that, man. Like, you think they making millions of dollars and got people's attention. They putting spells in these movies, indeed. But it's deeper than just them being some homosexual. And they trying to promote homosexuality in the movie. That's the inner meaning. They can use a commercial for that. Movies are telling stories, like within stories, about stuff, about real events, things that may come and things that have already came. So you want to look at the history of each actor that they use, the names that they use, because as I told you before, names are different, go into different estates and trusts. So why did they choose that particular trust or name? When I say trust, like a trust fund. So why did they choose that name to be in that? Why did that name give this movie credit? See, that's what you got to look at. Things you want to look at too is that to really see the inner meanings, you may have to watch the movie over and over again because of the fact that you want to look at the setting. What city was the movie playing out in? Everything is strategic. Everything. They don't just say, we're going to shoot a movie in Philadelphia for no damn reason. Even if they're not in Philadelphia, they're not going to use that as the scene for no reason. You want to look at, say for instance, they saying if the movie's supposed to take place in Australia, you want to look at where did they really shoot the movie at. Because a lot of times if the movie was supposed to take place in Australia, it might not have took place in Australia. It might really have took place in California. They might have shot the movie in California. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's the budget is in question, like it may cost them too much money, and that's why they didn't go to Australia for real. But other times it's not just because of the budget, because you dealing with in Hollywood and the whole movie industry, they got access to unlimited amount of money, and if they want a movie to blow up, they can put whatever money they want to put in it. Low budget movies and low budget films only exist in the independent sector. Now, independent film, well, I will say this. Independent film has hidden meanings, I'm sure. But it's not on the level that I'm speaking of. I'm talking about like big Hollywood. I want to make that be known. Like they're communicating messages within messages. Independent film, I'm not saying that they don't put in hidden meanings. Just because they're an independent film company doesn't mean anything. However, a lot of times they may not be initiated into these levels that I'm speaking of. Because what you got to remember is in Hollywood, they pay homage to an entity that is not physical. So that's another thing you want to realize. Like in Hollywood and in these big film companies, the ideas that come from these movies, the ideas, they come from another dimension, another reality. And this is real. Like it's coming from the underworld. Like they worship entities that you know nothing of, and pay homage to entities that you know nothing of. So that's a lot to think about. You think about decoding a movie, because you got to think, okay, so what entity influenced this movie? So I'm giving you a few clues. Again, you want to look at the title. You want to decode the title, meaning that you want to look at the title, not just read it. Okay, say for instance, like Get Hard. You could look at Get Hard and say, well, that's the title, so what am I going to really get from that? Like, look at it how? You want to look at the inner meaning of the title. You want to look at words within the title. And again, you want to look at the credits. See, a lot of people, they watch movies and they flash the credits so quick, you don't even get a chance to really read the credits. So you want to research the movie. See, if you really want to get into a movie, you should research it before you even watch it. Get online and research, look it up. The whole movie, and look at the aspects behind the scenes. You see, I took a film course here or there, and they make these movies on $30 and $40 million budgets. However, they can put as much money into a movie as they want to. And they can determine as to whether or not a movie flops or not. These entities that control the industry. That's what I'm speaking of. It's no coincidence that the Blair Witch Project was barely, like they didn't put that much money into making that. And that movie ended up blowing up. The Blair Witch Project, I think it cost like $20,000 to do that movie. And it blew up. It was no coincidence behind that. It was the entities that they made a pact with. In each movie they make a pact with a group of entities. And the entities vary depending on genre, depending on the actors that are in it, depending on the targeted customer base, and the inner message that they're trying to put out. And the reason why they go to such lengths in doing this is because movies harness so much energy, and they shift so much in a culture. Each time a movie comes out, it shifts the culture itself. See, Hollywood and the movie industry in general, and even the reality television industry in general, is the movement of the people. This is what really, if we were destroyed tomorrow and nothing was left but the master copies of these different movies, this would tell us and give us an idea as to what the collective consciousness was like during that period when the movie came out. It's just like during the Shakespeare times, they had plays. You study Shakespeare plays, that gives you an idea of what collective consciousness was like during the Romance period of time. Notice in the term Romans, you see romance. See, all of this has to do with movies. This is what I'm telling you. Look at the inner meaning. So you would have never noticed that if you've seen a movie called The Romance on Paradise Island, you would think, well, I don't see nothing in there. The Romance of Paradise Island, what about the Romans of Paradise Island? You see? What about and then when you think about paradise, what about paranormal? What about parody? See, it's a lot, like words within words. This is what I mean. Like, you got to decode the movie to figure out the inner meanings, and then once you get different scenarios in your mind. Then you begin to study the credits. Then you begin to study the place where the movie was shot. Then you begin to study the title. Then you'll get the inner meaning, the inner, I guess you could say, picture that they're painting. So Hollywood is deep, man. I'm not gonna, like I said, shed all the secrets. I mean, there's secrets within secrets. But a couple people asked me to do these couple videos that I just dropped, so I'm doing these videos just to kind of wake people up, to take away the whole Illuminati thing, and because it's like everybody, it's just so generic. Because it's like, if you look at it from the way most people present decoding their movies videos, they make it like, don't really go see no movie, or all movies are controlled by Illuminati, and it's like you missing it. Like, you want to see what these extraterrestrials really, what I'm doing when I watch movies, I want to see the message that they bring in this movie, and what's the inner message in that movie. And you guys are going off of whether or not you're entertained and things of that nature. So, like, it's more to it than that when you think about decoding a movie, because you want to look at the inner message and inner meaning. It's just like a movie's like a fortune cookie. And you can get caught up on the outside part, and it's sweet and it tastes good, or you can crack that cookie open and look at the inner message, the inner meanings of what they have to say. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to shut the video down to give you an example, so to make it all the way clear, to drive my point all the way home. It's an AT&T commercial out, right? And the commercial is about rollover data. And it's a female representative that works for AT&T, and she's trying to sell rollover data to a male. He's married. If you were not going to get this, if you just watch a 30-second commercial, but you know what that commercial is promoting. A lot of you have seen this commercial. You know what that commercial is promoting? That commercial's promoting a few things. It's promoting being promiscuous. It's promoting orgies. It's promoting an older male in the sexual relationship with a younger woman, because she looks like she's a college student, and this guy's like definitely in his late 50s looking type of look. And it's called rollover data. So I say you gotta look at the term in the name of the commercial, rollover. What do most men do after they bust a nut? What do most women do a lot of times after they have their few orgasms? Roll over and then wake up and do it again. The guy's married. The reason why I said it's promoting promiscuity, or having a secret affair, though, because the way they're talking, you gotta watch the commercial. It comes on a lot, and they're talking, and she says something like, basically, like, she offers him the package, which is like offering him herself, and he starts off. He says, "My family goes through all sorts of data, and then she offers him different packages." And they're negotiating how much data he's going to get. And he says, "He's playing hardball, huh? Hardball." So you look at the inner meanings. Balls and penises gets hard. See, I can talk straight up blunt in my videos. I'm not censored or rated. So he's like, "Oh, you playing hardball, huh? What's your angle?" Then he says, "If you're watching the commercial, you can see everything I'm saying." He said, "What's your angle?" Well, every woman has an angle that makes her have an orgasm. So this is promoting good sex too, like, having an orgasm type sex. And then at the end, once he's done negotiating, she says, you're pretty good at negotiating things. You should do this more often. She's saying, "You're pretty good at fucking. You're pretty good at this thing. You should do this more often." And I know I'm cussing and kids watch this stuff, but this is just how it comes out, So that's giving you an example of just that little 30-second clip. Look how much I got out of that. This is how you decode a television show, a reality show, an infomercial. It doesn't stop. And you can look at the inner meanings of all of this stuff. This is the script that I use, or the format or formula that I use. And hopefully I'll do other videos going more in depth. So I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go ahead and shut down, and got some other things to take care of. Shout out to my people in North Carolina. I'm in North Carolina right now, so shout out to everybody out there. We will be coming to a city near you, a state near you, real soon. The movement is, like I said, it's not stopping. This is the movie, because I'm moving, so this is the movie. Peace out.